Hey there, before this episode begins, just want to thank everyone who's been listening thus far. It's been a fun little ride for me so far. And thank you to Kevin, our patron. If you'd like to become a patron, you can go to patreon.com/pastime. But if you want to support in other ways, just share the podcast with your friends. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, iTunes, Spotify, whatever works for you. But it's been fun. Thank you for listening. And here's the episode. Hello and welcome to episode 14 of the Pastime Thinker podcast. I'm your host, Frederick Piquette, and today my guest is Noah Gibney. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good, good. It's been a while since we spoke last.
I know it has been a minute. It certainly has.
Yeah. How are things though?
Things have been good, man. Things have been really good.
That's
COVID's wild.
yeah.
COVID's definitely wild.
Yeah, that's been a
But I
thing I'm
mean,
hearing. That's been a thing I'm hearing.
I'm starting to hear rumblings about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
every once in a while.
Yeah.
But I mean, in a lot of ways, it's been pretty good for me in terms of, you know, my lifestyle and how it's helped me.
Yeah.
Started picking up new hobbies.
I know that like for a lot of people, like this whole COVID thing was either like detrimental on their health or a really good healthy like reset button for them.
Yeah, like there's nobody who's really in the middle about it. I
Yeah.
don't I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, like
Yeah, man.
nothing quite changed for me. Like I just kind of worked from home. Like just like the actual scheduling of my life kind of changed, but like it was still kind of business as usual for me.
Yeah. For me, I'm one of those people where I think I really needed that hard reset.
Yeah.
I kind of needed that, mostly in terms of just you know, my lifestyle and uh how I deal with my anxiety.
Yeah.
Um it's really helped in that sense.
Yeah, that's good. That's great to hear. Like if some form of positivity came out of this, like thank God, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that's the kind of thing. It's kind of forced the whole world to kind of slow down and in turn
Yeah.
me to kind of slow down.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing that, my sort of hectic schedule was being affected by was like my eating.
Yeah.
Um, and this has kind of helped me to, just kind of calm down and just um, focus on myself, focus on my health a lot more. Because with my anxiety, it's tough for me to like eat when
Yeah.
I'm feeling anxious. Like I get like nauseous or I just don't want to eat.
Oh, I'm very much
And
the opposite. Like if I'm getting anxious, like I'll eat more.
I know, like it's a weird thing about anxiety. It affects people in such drastic, weird ways.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Um, but yeah, man, because of everything that's been going on, I haven't really had a lot of worries.
Mhm.
So I've just been able to like eat, and working out has been a big help with that as well.
Yeah, I
Just kind of
started. I
forced me to.
yeah, I started working out myself, but I waited until the tail end of things to like actually start working out, and once I was like 2 weeks into it, I had to go back to work. So I was like, like I fucking missed the boat.
Yeah, man, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I actually started longboarding a while back.
Oh really? God, I've attempted skateboarding before.
Yeah.
I don't think it's for me.
No, yeah, I couldn't do skateboarding, but I've picked up longboarding and I really enjoyed it.
Hmm.
Um, but I kind of got too confident in myself too quickly.
Oh no.
Um, because I was going around my neighborhood because I'm in Beaverton, right, and the town is pretty small, so you
Yeah.
can just kind of like go around whenever. So I was going around with my brother because my brother's pretty good at it, and
Okay.
we come to this hill, and it looks fairly steep. I get to the top of it. I'm like, oh,
Time to
this is
go
too steep
fast.
for me. Time to go fast. Gotta go fast. So I just did it. I took a risk and I start going down. Speed starts picking up. Get a little bit of the speed wobble going.
Oh no. That's
Yeah, the speed wobble.
the speed wobble.
It's just terrifying, man. It's the most terrifying thing. You know at that moment when the board starts wobbling, there's no control.
Oh
Like
yeah.
it's gone.
It's just yeah. It's just can I
And
just fall
I was
asleep
like
right
I
now?
was smack dab in the middle of the road too. Like I was not close enough to the grass.
Oh, like a hooligan?
So
No, not in
yep.
the bicycle lane or even on the sidewalk.
No, sir. I mean, at that point, I had no control.
Yeah.
So like, I couldn't steer it even if I wanted to. So I took a risk. I jumped off, but not in the way you're supposed to. Apparently, you're just supposed to like just go limp.
Yeah, well, that's the best way. Like, if you go stiff, you can like dislocate something or break something. Where if you go limp, that's like your best chance of like essentially just breaking the skin.
Yeah. Oh, I broke the skin all right. I landed on my feet actually.
Oh, like
I jumped, landed right on my feet. But the momentum was
oh
way
yeah,
too great.
yeah.
I
You
ended
just
up
keep
just doing like
going.
a somersault down the road. Yeah.
How close to the bottom of the hill were you?
I was about halfway.
Oh no.
I was about halfway.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So I messed up my back and I messed up my like arm and my elbow.
Oh my. Like terribly or like just enough to like talk about it.
No, no, just enough for it to hurt like crazy, take off some skin.
Yeah.
Um,
Just
but I
enough
would
to
I
affect everyday life, but not enough to go to the hospital.
exactly. Like it was like, okay, this is gonna hurt for a couple days,
Yeah.
but I didn't end up breaking anything, so thankful for that.
Yeah. Oh, were you wearing a
But
helmet
yeah,
like a
man.
good little boy?
Oh no, man, those are for losers.
Oh, dude.
No,
Imagine
man, I'm a
like
cool boy.
imagine like helmets but like in the light up Skechers style, like when the helmet gets like banged up, it like lights up.
Dude, I would buy that in a heartbeat. I'd do that. Are you kidding me? A light up helmet, bro. I would customize that thing, bro. I'd want one with flames on it.
With
And the
real
flame and
flames,
the
not
flames light up.
stickers.
No, yeah, dude. There's just a little bit of kerosene in the helmet and it lights up.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh
Maybe it could have a little bit of sound too, like a little bit like a woo woo
god. I mean, I once fucked up my younger
when I
brother
get
on a
hit.
skateboard when we were probably about 11 or 12. My brother, he enjoyed skateboarding. I was more of a bike guy. And
Right.
we were hanging out with like the local fucking hooligans there, just the kids in the neighborhood. And my brother was standing on the skateboard, but like he wasn't. He was just standing on the skateboard, and he was
I see.
on the road, and I was on the sidewalk on my bicycle, and without thinking, I like hopped the bicycle off the curb, and my front tire landed right in the back part of his skateboard, and I like
Oh.
springboarded him off his own skateboard. Yeah, he was very accusatory after that. He was very convinced I did it on purpose. He was very convinced I was malicious.
You had malicious intent?
No,
Dude,
I
that's
was just
something
trying
out
to
of a cartoon.
I was trying to get closer to like the group of friends. I'm like, oh, let me just hop the bike off the curb because that's cool to get some air, and like I'll just like hop the bike off the curb and I'll feel even like I don't know. But yeah, then my front tire landed on the back part of his skateboard, and he was like,
How much airtime did he get?
like maybe a solid 2 seconds, like without touching the ground. Like he was a scrawny kid though. Like I've always been like a bigger guy, and like my brother, like
Right.
he was like scrawny as a child. Like it did not take much. But yeah, he was like
Yeah,
he was like
just fling him in the air.
he was like mid sentence when it happened too. He had no fucking idea what was gonna happen. Oh, he was so upset.
Oh man, that reminds me back when I used to snowboard, man.
Oh,
I used to snowboard and I had so much fun with it. But I had this weird thing where one of my brothers had stuck one of their snowboards like in the snow facing upright.
oh, okay.
And like this was at like the bottom of the hill. They had just like stuck it in there and I think they were going to go talk to like my mom or something.
Oh, okay. Like just setting it there.
Yeah. So I was going down the hill and I hit a jump. And I got some pretty good air time, and I started to lose control. I
Nice.
spun one
Speed
too many
wobble.
times. Speed wobble, yeah, midair speed wobble, man,
Yes,
dangerous,
mid-air
dangerous
speed
stuff.
wobble.
I ended up spinning around, so I was like basically on my back in the air, like I was going to land like butt first on the ground.
Okay.
But I ended up landing right on his snowboard.
Okay.
Like right in the middle of my back, bro.
Ah.
Like
Was
it
it
hurt.
how far did he stick it into the ground? If he just stuck it into the snow, I feel like he would have just taken the snowboard with yourself. Like,
Oh, it did fall down, but like
oh, okay.
the tip of his snowboard collided with my spine, man.
Oh, like you fell onto it. Oh shit!
Oh, I fell. Yeah, I
I thought
fell
you
right
meant like
onto
you
it.
flew into the snowboard while it was in the ground and it like stopped your momentum. I'm like, what?
That would have been wild.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can never really do anything like that, like longboarding or snowboarding, without having a couple stories of you just wiping out.
Oh yeah, because it's, in all honesty, if anything, part of the experience of at least just learning to do it.
Yeah.
Like I used to ski a little bit, and yeah, I used to fucking run. I used to just collide into shit going Mach 2 all the fucking time. I couldn't stop to save my life. I like the last thing I learned how to do with skiing is learn how to stop. Probably should have started with it, but like learning to ski, I was just colliding into everything. I wanted the speed. I wanted to go down the steep hills. That didn't scare me. The speed didn't scare me. The heights didn't scare me. But I just refused to learn how to stop, or at least stop effectively. I would run like that's the majority of the ways that I just stopped moving was just like, oh, I'll just if I just slow
Well,
myself
hit this
down
one.
enough. Yeah, honestly, it's like if I can just slow myself down enough so that hitting that tree won't hurt. When I hit the tree, I will stop.
There's a child down there. If I time this just right,
Well, I hope I'm
he could
related
either
to him.
be he could either be a ramp or he could be my stopper. See, this is actually funny because that was the first thing I learned in snowboarding,
Was how to
and
stop.
I kind of wish it wasn't the first thing I learned, like stopping.
Well,
I
I
kind of
guess
wish it
so.
wasn't because like because to kind of like slow down or like stop on a snowboard, you kind of have to turn it sideways so
Yeah.
that like so I would like I think our instructor taught us that kind of first because he wanted to make sure that we wouldn't get hurt.
Yeah.
But it ended up being that I would just like when I was starting out, I would just be going down the whole hill sideways,
That's what I mean. Like, if
being
the
like,
only thing you know how to do is stop, then that's the only thing you're going to do, right?
yeah. It's like if I do this, I know I'm going to be going down slowly, but I'm not gonna hurt myself.
No, I didn't care. I was reckless as a kid. I just
Oh, I was
like
so
I
not.
like the only thing I would watch out for is like as long as I like don't end up in the fucking hospital, like I really don't care what happens to me. Like I can take a couple hits, I can take a couple like I don't mind if I run into a couple things. Like as long as I don't hospitalize myself, like I'm okay.
I was the opposite of that as a kid. I
Yeah.
was the opposite. I like my buddy my buddy would be like, "Oh, let's climb that tree." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?
Oh
I'm gonna
no.
climb that tree. I'm gonna get splinters, man. I'm gonna get my pants dirty."
Oh no, when I was like 13, me and a couple of my friends used to go roof running. Like like right downtown where I'm from. And yeah, no, we were like literally jumping rooftop to rooftop of like local businesses and stuff like that, just thinking we're the fucking shit. Thinking we're like fucking ninjas and shit like that until we tried to do it in a residential neighborhood.
Oh
And
man.
that's when we got a lot of pissed off people. Like we pissed off like got screamed at a couple times. Well, because like honest to God, well, like no, we're fucking a bunch of stupid kids, right? Like
Yeah.
fucking, you don't want some fucking pack of kids just climbing onto your roof of your home and then jumping over the neighbor's roof and keep on going.
Just seeing your shingles fly off, yeah. Like watching TV and just seeing. See, you know what's funny? I think I'd actually be more willing to do stuff like that now than when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I think it's just because my parents were so protective of me. They didn't want me to do anything like roof running.
Yeah. Well, I never told my parents I was doing it. I just told them, "Hey, I'm hanging out with so and so," and they go, "Okay, be home by this time." And I went, "Okay." And then when I got home, they're like, "So what you do?" I'm like, "Oh, we just hung out." I'm like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, we should.
yeah, we just hung out. That's it. Like, it's not that like my parents were like, "Yeah, Fred, go roof running, free range parenting, woo."
No, no, yeah, but no, like, see, that's the thing is that like because of where I grew up,
Yeah,
like I was not in like a kind of area where like I could go just like run over to my friend's house and do that because
right.
of like my area was pretty remote.
Okay,
There were only like a few houses near me, and then just like miles of like farm road until you hit like more people.
like a more metropolitan kind of area.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Like where I'm at now, if I grew up like where I am now, I
Yeah,
can see myself doing that a lot more because now we're actually in like a suburb
yeah.
where like there's
Dude,
lots of different houses and stuff.
suburb kids are like fucking crazy though. I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, I think if I grew up in this area, I think I would have been a little crazy.
Yeah,
'Cause like dude, Beaverton especially or towns like it are so free range. Like
yeah,
it's like a 15-minute walk to get into town and just do whatever.
yeah.
And if you have friends in the area, like there's that too. Like I'm
Yeah.
right near train tracks as well.
Oh no. I don't think there's any trains where I'm from. Actually, there is no. We had like a lot of like train tracks, but like not that were ever used. Like they were like old train tracks that aren't used anymore.
All right. No, mine is very used. Every once in a while during the day or night, you just hear.
Oh,
Oh
absolutely. Where Jill and I live right now, there's train tracks right by us, and yeah, like
yeah.
two, 3 times a day, we'll hear a train. Got used to it after a while though.
Yeah, it's funny because like when my friends notice it, because like I'll be
Oh,
like on PlayStation online with them, and like they'll hear it and be like, "Dude, what is that noise?" It's like, "Oh, it's the train." It's
yeah. If I have my windows open, and I'm playing video games with my brother or something like that, and the train goes by, like he's like, "What the fuck is that, man?" I'm like, "Dude, we've been over this. It's the fucking train. You know what it is."
guys, stop! It's the train. We've been over this. I'm sorry, I can't control the train.
Ugh. What I've been thinking
Oh
about
yeah.
doing is just like next time it happens, like just like over chat, I'm just gonna whip out my phone real quickly and just play the Thomas the Tank Engine theme song.
The bass boosted Thomas the Tank Engine theme.
Yeah, it's like you know what it is now. You know what it is now.
Get used to this sound.
Every time you
It's
ask,
gonna
I'm just
make the
gonna
regular train feel like a treat.
right. Oh, well, yeah, no. Life
Yeah,
has
dude.
been interesting, especially since I like moved away from Toronto. Because
Yeah.
I went from small town to Toronto to like medium-ish town.
So you've just been through it all then.
Oh yeah, well, I spent the majority of my time in my hometown, so like I'm definitely a lot more accustomed to like the small town kind of feeling. Whereas like Toronto, just like every fucking day was like an adventure. It's like literally in a place like Toronto is like you can like, oh, we're in the mood to do something like this. Yeah, there's something in the area that we can do something like that.
Dude, that's the thing, man. Like, I mean, I do like the country, but there's such a sense of possibility
Yeah,
when you're in Toronto, when you're in the city.
yeah.
Um, like you can go around anywhere and there's so much stuff to do.
Oh yeah, of course. Like Dundas Square. Like I used to work back at Dundas Square, right? And it's what there's a fucking shopping mall. There's a fucking second shopping mall, a movie theater, bunch of restaurants, a bunch of bars, a bunch of whatever you name it, and they're all fucking 30 to 40-second walks away from each other. Like where I'm from, like you want to go to the movies? Cool. Should we go to the restaurant now? Yeah, that's a couple minute like that's like a drive away. Now that we're done at the restaurant, oh, you want to go to a bar? Yeah, sure. Okay, well that's another drive away. Whereas like in Toronto, just like everything is just there.
I know, it's so nice. Like I still act like a little kid sometimes when I go to Toronto. Like, and I think it's just because again of where I grew up. They're like any if you want to go anywhere, whether it's Beaverton or Keswick, like if you want to go anywhere big, you're talking you know, you're talking a drive away
Yeah.
to get to anything interesting. Whereas in Toronto, it's all right next door.
Oh yeah.
It's like a simple bus ride away, like, and when I go out there with my girlfriend and stuff like that, she'll be like, "Oh, we can go here or here." I was like, "What?
Yeah. Well, again, like,
What is this magical place?"
yeah. Well, again,
Dude, the
like,
first time I went to Vaughan Mills,
okay.
I think it was Vaughan Mills, I was freaking out. I was like, "What is the size of this mall?"
Oh yeah, like moving from Timmins to Toronto, like I didn't even touch the subway for like the first 3 months that I was living there.
Yeah.
Like I was super scared, and then yeah, after a while, after like I made friends in college and stuff like that, and we started making plans to go places that wasn't in the immediate area where I lived. I'm like, I guess we have to fucking learn how to do this. Oh,
It's I think that's a thing with like growing up in the country and then, you know,
mm-hmm.
being in that area for any length of time.
Yeah.
It's such a different world.
I
And
remember
like,
even like the small town mentality, like the fact that I'm like already accustomed to being in a small town and then going to a bigger city where like certain luxuries are more used to it. Like I remember I used to confuse my roommates. Like I would rather take a 30-minute walk to a place than try to figure out how to do the 5-minute bus ride. And I was completely okay with just going for a 30-minute walk to get to a place. And it was like foreign to them. They're like, "You're going to walk 30 minutes just to go do that?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's just a 30-minute walk." That was my walk to school when I was a kid. Like not meaning to
yeah,
pull
dude.
that card, but like yeah, I lived about a 20-ish, 25-ish minute walk from school, like growing up, and
Hmm.
I was still considered living too close to the school to be allowed to like have a to get on a bus. So like that kind of
Yeah.
walk, and that's a small town thing.
Yeah. And it's it's so weird to think about how like these are literally like if we're talking driving, say from like
Okay.
Um Keswick to Toronto, like you could get there in like an hour,
Okay.
maybe like maybe an hour and 20, I don't know.
Hmm.
Um and yet they're just completely two different worlds.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Like
we all know that
two different
eventually
lifestyles, two
Toronto
different worlds.
will eventually expand to Keswick. Might take
Yeah.
a few more fucking years, but Toronto's been
I
expanding at
mean,
such a remarkable rate.
Newmarket's going to be well on its way to becoming part of the Toronto lifestyle for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, because I've been there recently. I was there yesterday actually, and like, it's already advanced a lot from like when I was a kid growing up there.
Hmm.
Like, they've got a couple of plazas in there that are looking really nice now,
Oh, that's cool.
and like back in the day, man, it was just the Walmart. It was just like there's a Walmart and then there's like the Timmy's and like but like now they have these plazas where there's a bunch of stores in there
Okay, that must be
and
awesome though. It just makes it easier. Like just small towns like that, especially the one I'm from, probably from where you're from. Like they're all facing the same issue. People are moving away. You know,
yeah.
every graduating high school class graduates, and then like 90% of those kids fuck off, and then it
Yeah.
makes it hard to really expand the place you're living when you're not really keeping a lot of the population there. So then
Yeah,
they
I
have
mean
to
that's the
make those
thing with a
strides.
town like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they have to make
because
those
like
strides.
when
They have to put the plazas in. They have to upgrade because they need to keep people there.
absolutely. And that's the thing, like with a town like that, like as a kid, kind of like all you like for most kids, kind of all you can think of is like, man, I can't wait to like get a job and move out and get out of this small town and
Yeah.
just like, have a life somewhere else,
Oh yeah.
because it's that kind of mentality that a lot of country kids grow up with, where it's like there's so much more out there,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, there's so much more. Even like it doesn't even just stop at Toronto. Like people fucking move to the States, go to New York, go to California, go to fucking Europe. Like, I'm sure it's not just a Canadian thing with the small towns. I'm sure small towns everywhere have the same issues, like around the world.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of the reason why like towns like I mean like with Beaverton, like a lot like when you go into like the little town here, like all of the buildings that are there have been there since early 1900s,
Oh yeah, for
right?
sure.
And like all of the housing here is new. Like this new subdivision I'm in, it's brand new and it's expanding. But
Hmm.
you go into the town, like it's all old buildings. The school looks like it's from maybe the 1800s. I don't know. But like there's a charm to that. Like
Oh
it's
yeah.
I like the feel of it because it feels very home-ish, you know?
Yeah, I mean, because I grew up in it, when I see that kind of stuff, it makes me feel nostalgic, but I still don't have like a want
Yeah,
to
it's
like live
nostalgic.
there.
No, like somewhere I'd love to go every summer. I'd love to go here, and I didn't get to go this year because of the pandemic. But
Hmm.
I love going to Coburg every year.
I'm unfamiliar.
Um, and it has like kind of the same vibe. You know, it has like a lot of old buildings and has like old timey feel to it. But the place that we stay is a little motel. It's right by the beach. There's a water park nearby.
Oh, nice.
It's a great place. Like people are always walking their dogs down there, and it's just a very nice feeling.
Hmm.
Like I wouldn't want to live there, but like I could stay a summer there, or like even have like a summer home there. You
Yeah.
know, it's kind of just like a nice little. Okay, this is my nice little nook and cranny where like the outside world doesn't really affect it. You know,
Yeah.
like those towns always feel like they're kind of in a little time bubble.
Yeah. Well, for sure. And it's very difficult to break out of that time bubble up until the point where you're starting to see, like, again, like, I know that Timmins is starting to make strides to try and keep the youth there, but for the longest time, like, it didn't happen in my generation. It was probably either the graduating class the year after or perhaps even the year after that, where they actually started addressing the issue that people are leaving. We can't, like, people aren't staying here unless they're working in the fucking mine. Because it's a mining town, right? Like, the majority of the
Yeah,
people there are there to work in the mines. Because that is really good money. That is, well, it's a very dangerous job, but it's a very providing job, and that's what draws people to it. It's like, yeah, I gotta live in
right.
Timmins, but I'm gonna live very comfortably in Timmins.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see like years from now where these towns are.
Yeah.
Um, I think, as the years go on, I think Keswick definitely is going to become a lot more like Newmarket. It's already starting to a little bit.
I think they'll eventually
Um,
become part of the GTA.
yeah,
Again, maybe not
yeah,
in necessarily in our lifetime, but I think eventually the way Toronto's expanding.
yeah, yeah. Like I think Keswick will definitely it'll Keswick will definitely do it before Beaverton ever will.
Oh yeah.
Um, but I mean, I guess part of that is because it's closer. The closer that these towns and stuff are to Toronto, the quicker they're gonna become like it, I think.
Oh yeah, like once whatever it is, like an easier bus route system or a closer subway station or another like a business affiliated with Toronto opens up, like it's just gonna start pull like a fucking black hole. It's gonna start just drawing it into Toronto, right?
Yeah, yeah. What would be really nice? Like I don't need to see Beaverton grow in my lifetime, but it would be nice for now if the highway could expand down here, so like I could just zip up to and be into like Keswick or Newmarket within like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That would be blessed.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
But again, maybe not in my lifetime. I don't know.
I mean, who knows? Maybe a petition will start. Maybe Again, all it would take too is just like the right business to open up to justify connecting that, right?
Yeah, there's not a lot of big stuff here yet to really pull people in. Like we got, your basics. We're not small enough to not have a so we do have that. But actually
Oh, you're
a
kind of
huge
cutting
thing
out.
that's part of this town. Oh, let me see if
Oh.
I can move.
Anyways, you were saying McDonald's?
Yeah, I mean, like we're not small enough yet to not have McDonald's.
Hmm.
So we do have, but one big I think could be a huge pull to this town is in here we actually have the oldest standing theater
Oh,
in Beaverton,
okay. That
and
like
it's literally
like if someone does like the right things with it, that could definitely pull a lot of people in and definitely centralize it a lot more.
well, yeah, man. I mean, it's a huge part of history. Like, and it's standing to this day, but like it's not being
I
used,
was about to
you
ask
know?
if it's functional. Is it getting kind of
No,
decrepit, or is it just being maintained but not used?
I think it's more just being maintained and not used.
Oh, for sure. Then
But I
that would
think
be
it
a
would be
really fun thing. That'd be a fun little project to work on.
yeah, because like it would be a shame for something like that to, kind of go to waste.
Oh, absolutely. Not even just like for the theater industry, just in general for historical reasons. Like, if anything, maybe turn it into a museum, like a Canadian theater fucking museum of some kind.
Yeah, man. Like that would be so cool. I think theater dates back as far as the late eight like movie theaters
Oh yeah,
date back as late to like I think 18 like late 1800s maybe.
that I would not fucking know. I
I think
honestly
like
guess.
the first theaters were starting to open up early like in the late 1800s close to like the beginning of the 1900s.
Yeah, because I know by like the
Um
early 1900s, like movie theaters were there because I know that in regards to like World War II, like movie theaters were used a lot to pump out propaganda.
right.
So
Yeah.
I know at least by that point there were movie theaters. I don't know at what point how long they had been around by then.
Yeah. Yeah. But dude, did you hear the story about like one of the first movies ever shown in the theater?
No.
It was this movie and it was about like this train
Okay.
and there was a shot and this was like the first movie, like moving picture these people had ever seen,
Yeah.
right? So this was like this huge phenomenon. So they go to this theater, they're watching the movie. The train starts moving towards the camera. Like they have this shot where the train is moving towards the camera. The whole theater runs screaming out of there because they
oh,
thought
that's
the train was gonna hit them.
oh yeah, it's so fucking foreign. Like when the first ever automobile came out, everybody was getting motion sick. Everyone was throwing up going 5 miles an hour. Like it's just a new thing, right? Like that people have to get used to it. It's fucking hilarious now by today's standards, but it was probably very
Right.
understandable then.
Yeah. And that kind of makes you think what new things are gonna come out that are just going to just mess with our heads
I know I'm so
in
excited
one
for
way or
that.
another.
Like I can't wait until I'm in like I want to say maybe late 40s to mid 50s and just something I can't even
In
think
cars.
of right now just comes out, just some piece of technology, some new kind of medium comes out and it just fucking blows my mind away because it's something that I can't even think of.
Right. Like we don't really have the capacity to imagine what that could be. I
Right.
think something that is really gonna mess with people is when VR really starts to become a
Yeah.
huge thing.
But again,
Like
that's not
when
something that
VR
would
is in its prime.
yeah, but again, that's not something that would surprise, you and I because we're around during the inception of VR. I'm talking about what's going to be brand new, never thought of before, just beginning to be developed. No one's ever done it and
Yeah,
we're just these old guys just being blown
dude,
away.
and that's the thing. That's the thing. Like you want to think of what that could be, but like you literally can't
You literally can't.
because it hasn't been thought of yet.
It's gonna be invented by some fucking kid who hasn't even been born yet.
How far do you think VR is going to advance before like we're like old men?
So like, where do you think VR will be by the time like before we die?
Yeah. For those of you listening who don't know the acronym, if you're little dumb boys,
Oh my
it stands for virtual reality.
god. Yeah. I think I think they're gonna try and incorporate some more ways to involve more of the body because like right now with VR, if you have like a really expensive setup, you can like maybe have it attached to your legs where you can actually like physically walk around in VR.
Yeah.
I think first and foremost they're probably going to try to find a way to involve all five of the senses. And then I think
I heard, I don't know if you heard about this. I heard that somebody has developed a device and you hook it onto like your headset, your VR headset, and
okay.
it hooks around the headset and it's near your nose,
Oh no.
and it's this kind of device where it's able to trick your brain into thinking that smells are temperatures.
Oh really?
Yeah, so like it'll release a scent into your nose, and whatever it is will either make you feel really hot or really cold.
Oh my god. Yeah. So
It's
like
the
shit like that.
weirdest thing.
I think the first thing they're going to try and get out of the way is involve all five senses. So like probably, they already got the audio and visual down pat. If they're already
Yeah,
starting with like temperature, probably like taste, touch, I don't know. And then,
I think touch is gonna be huge.
yeah.
I think like I believe the big thing, what I envision in my mind is people wearing these kind of full body suits,
Yeah.
kind of like in something that you'd see in like Ready Player One, or
Yeah.
like even in like even like a type of mocap suit.
Yeah. And then I don't know. I think after they probably get the five senses out of the way, I think then we're gonna really start diving into some like science fiction territory where like, oh, now here's VR that like we just tap it into your brain and you don't have to move around and risk your surroundings. You'll just kind of be asleep and you basically we're gonna make a device that just gives you the ability to turn on and off lucid dreaming.
Dude, people are going to have chips in their brains in the future. Like, dude, I bet by the time we're old, we're old men. People are gonna like everybody's gonna be walking around with some sort of chip.
I don't know. Like, a part of me wants to agree with that. Another part of me thinks it's a little ridiculous. Like, I wouldn't.
I
It's one of
don't
those things.
know.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it happens, but I'm also not expecting it to happen.
Yeah, I can get behind that. Like, it's. I mean, I don't think it's something that I want.
Like, I
Uh,
do know that there already is a technology out there where you can have like a chip put in your hand and it acts as your debit card. Like, I know that that's already
dude,
becoming a thing.
what a like. I can't imagine thinking to myself, man, just using my card or my phone. That's way too much effort.
I just want to
That's way too
tap
much.
the debit machine. I just want to like
I
high
just
five the debit machine and groceries are paid for.
that feels like such a useless like form of technology that requires surgery and
Well,
probably a lot of money.
it's I think it's pretty expensive, but it's not like an extent. It's like literally just like getting a vaccine shot. Like they just put a needle in your arm, like pull down, and then it's there. It's in your hand. Boom. It's like I'm pretty sure it's like like the size of a grain of rice.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff blows my mind. I actually saw this through a meme, funny enough, but
Oh no.
I saw like the world's smallest computer is
Okay.
like 1/10 of the size of like a grain of
Yeah,
rice.
I think I've seen a picture like that too. It's like literally like a tiny fucking square with like two wires attached to it, and it's a functioning fucking
Yeah,
computer.
yeah.
Oh,
So wild, man.
as great as this
Like,
conversation is going, I think we need to take a small break right now.
Okay.
Alrighty, and yeah, we'll definitely just hop right back onto the subject. Honestly, I'm having a lot of fun with this.
Me too.
But yeah, let's just go through the ads real quick. All right, bye bye. This episode is sponsored by Brotherhood MFG. Brotherhood MFG is a clothing brand centered around cart culture with a fresh style. They've even given me a special discount code to give to you guys. So if you go to teespring.com/stores/brotherhoodmfg and use discount code pastime in all caps, you'll get a 13% discount off the entire store. Also, before we get into this episode, I want to take a second to shout out King Tamakos. He's a new Twitch streamer and personal friend to me, so if you guys could go check him out and show him some support, that'd be great. You'll also see myself streaming with him on his Friday streams from 7 to 10 o'clock every Friday. So if you're interested in video games, both really old and current ones, please go check him out on Twitch at King Tamakos. That's KingTamakos. Link will be in the description below. Thank you very much. All right, and we're back. So yeah,
We're back.
We're back.
It's like we never left.
It's like we could have taken, these we could have taken a 2-day break for all people. No, that's my favorite thing about like doing a little pause for the ad break in the middle is like I can literally stop recording and we can take however long we need to like recuperate and stuff like that. And
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know what we're doing. We're not on the clock here.
oh, there's been times where like I recorded the first half of a podcast and then like went out for dinner and then like came back and finished it.
Don't tell them the secrets.
Yeah.
You're ruining the illusion.
Oh, but yeah, man, VR, it's such an interesting topic. I'm very excited to see where it goes for video games, honestly.
Dude, I was talking to my friends about this.
Okay.
Like video games right now, like I'd say the biggest form of entertainment still, I'd say, well, at least the most popular form of entertainment, I'd say, is probably movies. Like those are the things that are advertised more than I'd say video games are
Oh, for sure.
in mainstream media.
Yeah.
But I think definitely going forward, games are inevitably, I think, going to become the main big source of entertainment.
Well, they've already kind of come out, at least on Netflix. They have like a handful of them, like the interactive fucking movies that feel like you're playing a video game. And
dude,
those are just
those are my favorite. I love anything where my choice affects the outcome of something.
Oh yeah, that is my favorite type of video game. Period. With like,
dude, Telltale was amazing.
Yup. It's fucking horrible that they I guess canceled. I don't know. Like they had to shut their doors.
Mhm.
But yeah, Telltale was amazing.
Yeah, although I have heard rumblings that Telltale Batman is coming out with a third season,
oh,
so
that's
maybe
amazing.
it got picked up by somebody
That's
else.
amazing. I really enjoyed the first 2 Telltale Batman.
They were so fun.
Oh yeah, the second one was a lot more fun in my opinion, but still.
Well, it's such a cool concept because when you do something like that, especially with a character that's so famous that people know, like you're put in those shoes and your choices affect the outcome of these scenarios, right?
Yeah.
So like let's say like in the first season of the Batman Telltale, you had Harvey Dent. For those of you listening who don't know who that is, that's the villain Two-Face.
Two-Face.
Who's a lawyer.
But
also
like,
you can
have
a
bad guy.
also a bad guy. But you could literally go through that game and he could like, and he never fully becomes Two-Face.
Exactly.
Like his face never gets burnt.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's so interesting to me because it makes you feel. It makes me feel so much more immersed.
Oh, same too. And
right?
in the second season, where you essentially get to like figure out, or not figure out, but like create the Joker.
Yeah.
Because what does he have?
Depending on your interactions with him.
Yeah. Does he have 2 or 3 different paths that he goes down?
From what I know of, it's 2, and the one is him basically just becoming the villain we all know, and then the other one is
vigilante.
Yeah. Which is such a wild concept, like the Joker becoming a vigilante rather than just the villain we all know.
If they can introduce, something like that, where like, a choose your own adventure style, but like really incorporate it well into a movie. I mean, I think it'd be really, really entertaining, but you would never be able to play that in an actual movie theater because of the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
Honest.
yeah, that's just another reason why I think eventually theaters are gonna kind of die out.
Yeah, you think so?
Maybe not in our lifetime,
Okay.
maybe not, but like I think once VR and gaming really start to become
Household.
very immersive.
Yeah. Or not even just immersive, just like household things. Like, like for the most part, like every kid grew up with some kind of console in their home, with some kind of TV, some kind like, like once things become like household staples. Because there was a point where like not everybody owned a radio, and then it turned into not everybody owned a TV, and then it turned into not everybody owned a telephone, and then video games, and then the internet, and then once those things start becoming more of a staple within the home,
Yeah.
then I think it would start making things outside of the home obsolete.
Like we're already at the point where like if we really wanted to, theaters could shut down forever.
Yeah,
Um,
between
like I think
online
the
stuff and Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus and
yeah,
like
dude,
a
and you can
million
buy
other streaming
anything off of
services.
yeah. You're talking between the streaming services and just being able to just buy and download a movie right onto your laptop or your TV or whatever
Yeah.
or your phone. The main reason I think people still go to movie theaters is because of the experience of,
Oh yeah.
it's an outing. Like
Yeah.
it's what it is.
You're not gonna get to watch a movie on a screen the size of your house at home, like
Yeah,
with that kind
exactly.
of like sound quality and
Yeah. But I think, I can see it going that way. I don't know if it will in our lifetime, but I can definitely see because like when you think of like what we will eventually be able to do, like stories are only going to get more and more immersive and more in
mm-hmm.
depth, especially when, you know, in video games where we're playing the character and we're actually in the world, in the virtual world,
Yeah.
whether it be through, you know, a headset or through a chip or whatever. That doubled with, the possibility of choose your own adventure storytelling,
Yeah.
where what your choices drastically affect the outcome of the story to the point where like you could go watch a movie or play a game and your friend could watch the same thing and you guys can get a completely different story.
Oh yeah. Well, there's already video games like that. It's just
Yeah.
incorporating it in with the VR and with the technology needs to catch up with that kind of ambition. But it's definitely going to happen at some point. Like
Oh yeah.
I don't deny. Like I know at eventually that will be a thing. I don't. It's we're already so close to that point already. I don't see it not happening.
Like I see there's a I mean, I'm sure you know this, but just for reference, like there is a video game made by Nintendo that came out um in like the mid 90s, maybe early 90s even,
Okay.
called the Nintendo 64.
Oh.
And that was revolutionary in the sense of like we were starting to see three-dimensional games, right?
Mm-hmm.
They weren't just like 2D little pixely guys running across the screen.
Yeah.
Like it was a full three-dimensional world that you're running around in. And that's where I think we are in terms of VR. I think VR is kind of in the N64 era
Yeah.
of itself, where like we're just starting to see what we can do. Like now in VR, we're able to move around pretty well. We're able to pick things up. We're able to interact.
Oh, yeah.
We're even able to like feel temperature now.
Yeah, and they're coming out with like really immersive like controllers too, where you can like control each individual finger of both your hands.
Yeah, you can flip someone off in a video game now.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. I've watched. There's this YouTuber that I've been watching, and like his entire YouTube channel is just him fucking around on VR, and it's hilarious. He's playing Skyrim in VR, and like yeah, he's just. It looks like a completely different game. It made me want to play Skyrim again, but it
I know.
it's just I feel like it's a type. It makes it almost a completely different game.
It really does. Like because it adds that extra level of immersiveness.
Oh yeah.
Like I watch a lot of VR YouTubers as well because it looks so interesting to just be able to put on a headset and just be able to move your body around, look all the way around and see that there's a whole world mapped out
Oh
in
yeah.
there. You're like in another dimension. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think, right now we're still not at the point where it's in like every house.
No, not at all. Not at all. It won't be that way for probably another couple of years because what they have to do is they have to perfect the technology so that they can make the technology itself cheaper. Like right now, VR gaming is kind of like a luxury kind of gaming, right? Like
Yeah.
it's pretty expensive. I might be completely wrong here, but I'm pretty sure at least for like the PS3 for like a VR setup, it's like $300-$400. Um, uh,
Yeah,
it,
yeah. If you want to get a PlayStation 4 VR setup, it'll cost the same as your PlayStation 4.
So that's what I mean. So like between the PlayStation and so like the PlayStation plus the VR set, you're looking at $500-$600 there, and then you want to play a $70 game on top of that. Like that's just not feasible for a lot of people. And
Yeah.
I think what they
You're
need to do
you're
is, yeah, once they perfect the technology, they can afford to make the technology itself cheaper, and then therefore it'll become more available.
absolutely, yeah. Because right now you're looking at over $1,000 just for your setup,
Just so you can
right?
play Skyrim again. When
So you
you,
can play Skyrim, but now you can flip off the enemies.
yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, but like, I don't know, man. VR is so cool. VR is so
it
cool.
really is. I don't have it, but actually the same brother who I catapulted off his skateboard. He actually has a VR set, and like he let me dick around on it for a little bit. And not gonna lie, like I didn't want to put it down. Like, yeah,
I don't have it either, but I've used it a couple times. There's actually a place in Lindsay at the mall where they have like this virtual reality hub where you can go in and put on a headset and dick around.
nice.
And I did that for about an hour, and like fighting zombies and
This gun
fighting
won't
zombies and
leave.
stuff.
It says
Can we?
15 minutes on
Who
the
is this
sign.
kid? It's supposed to be 15 minutes. He keeps kicking people when they try to get over there.
Ah, zombie. Just
Yeah, exactly. Zombie!
he's too immersed. But at the
He's
same
broken 4 of our controllers.
at the same time though, like it's gonna have negative ramifications. Like there's already people today that escape reality through video games. Now just imagine when they can actually escape reality by entering fully
Oh,
another
dude, that's
reality.
the thing. That's the thing, dude. Like, that's a terrifying notion.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, real life can kind of suck,
Sucks. Yeah.
right? And being able to just go into a world where you can do anything, be anybody, like,
Yeah.
and once that's perfected,
That's gonna
we're
be.
gonna see a lot of people in this world just wasting their lives
Oh yeah,
away
it's
doing
gonna be
that.
really intoxicating for a lot of people, myself included. Like I'm not excluding myself from that group. Like,
Oh, dude, like somebody's gonna have to save me, I think, because like, dude, once that's perfected, here's what I'm hopeful for. I'm hopeful that it's somewhat perfected by the time I'm an old man, so
yeah.
that it doesn't matter. Like I'm old anyways. Like I'm old. Like there's nothing I can really do. Like I'm sitting at my house for most of the day. My biggest excitement is going out and going to get groceries and stuff like that. I'll just live in the virtual world.
Yeah.
They're coming out with an Iron Man virtual reality game, eh?
It's been in the works for a while.
Yeah,
I remember seeing ads for it like a year ago. Like
I know.
it's supposed to be like Iron Man for like Age of Ultron. Like that's how long it's been in the makes. I'm pretty sure it follows, and I'm actually, don't quote me on this. I'm pretty sure it's actually supposed to be canon in the Marvel universe, but it's supposed to take place during the Age of Ultron arc from the movies, and it's actually supposed to like,
Oh, really?
yeah, be canon. I might be wrong about that. I'm not entirely sure.
That would be wild. But I mean, I think it's very smart to start off with something like Iron Man because Iron Man lends itself so well to VR.
Oh yeah, because he's basically, he sees everything through a VR set almost.
Yeah. I mean, in Iron Man 3, he was already using like VR to control his suit, and
Yeah,
he wasn't even in his suit.
yeah. Oh,
Um, but yeah, like that's the thing that's really gonna get me is when I can start being a superhero in VR. I'm not gonna want to leave, dude. I already okay. I think you know, and most people who know me know that I love Spider-Man.
Oh yeah,
I love Spider-Man. Like the Spider-Man PS4 game that came
it's
out
perfection.
in like oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah,
Such a good game.
I waited my time, got the deluxe version on sale, and then just played through the entire game and all the DLCs in like the span of a week. And like,
Dude, I played through that game I think 5 times.
oh wow, I've played
Six
through it
times maybe.
twice. I've played through it twice.
I have a problem, but like I already enjoyed that game so much just on console. No VR set, just a controller in my hand.
Yeah.
Imagine when VR Spider-Man comes out.
Oh yeah,
I'm,
done right.
like I'm gonna need
Hopefully.
I I don't know. I'm almost scared to get it. I'm almost scared to get it because I don't know. I don't think I could trust myself.
Oh, just gonna have to
It's
put my
spooky,
life on
man.
hold.
Someone's gonna have to feed me while I'm just in the Matrix.
I mean, I've already done things like that for games that aren't VR. Like, I've mentioned this video game a couple times on the podcast, but Kingdom Hearts 3, it's huge to me. It, like, I pre-ordered the game, and I took time off work to play the game when it came out. Like, I actually booked time off. I pre-ordered the game comes out on this day. I booked 3 days off work 2 weeks in advance so I could just play the shit out of this game. And it's a console game. Like I remember I
Dude, I
messaged
love
her.
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, like I
It's
messaged
such
our
an
group
interesting
chat.
world.
Yeah, like I remember messaging our group chat like, "Don't talk to me, please. I'll be busy."
Don't talk to me. Yeah, I actually a while back uh I bought like the full collection
Oh, good luck.
of all the Kingdom Hearts games, and it was up for like $100 or something like that, and I
Yeah,
just got them all.
I mean, $100 for
Um,
8 games, for 8 incredible games.
for 8 games, like that was a steal. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, but I mean, I haven't played. I've only played the first one yet because I've been so distracted by other games. But
yeah.
I'm so interested in the world of
Oh yeah.
Kingdom Hearts. It's
It
so interesting.
it gets crazy. Honestly, the only issue with Kingdom Hearts is it's very difficult to get into Kingdom Hearts because of how many games there are and how complicated the
Yeah,
storyline is, and they involve time travel and like this
it's
game.
very daunting.
Yeah, like this game, there's 8 games plus a movie plus a mobile game. Everything is canon. Like
There was a Kingdom Hearts movie?
yeah, actually, if you got the package, it should be in it. It's
Taste like right now.
yeah, but no, there's a kingdom.
What?
There's a king. It's like a short film. It's like maybe 30 minutes long. But
Is it animated?
yep, yep. Yeah, it's but that's the thing. It's just Kingdom Hearts doesn't retcon anything ever. They just keep pumping out content. They keep pumping out prequels. They keep pumping out fucking it like 100 years ago this happened video games, and it's all canon. And if you're going to play through the games, just make sure you play Kingdom Hearts 3 last, because you won't understand anything. Because
Oh no, I'm saving Kingdom Hearts 3 for the very last.
like, don't just play Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and then 3. Play all of the games except 3 and then 3, or else there will be chunks that go over your head.
No, yeah, I'm just gonna play it sequentially, like in order of when they came out.
Even that's not good enough because a bunch of prequels came out afterwards. Like Kingdom Hearts 1 came
Oh
out.
no.
Yeah. So Kingdom Hearts 1 came out. And then the Kingdom Hearts 2 prequel came out. And then Kingdom Hearts 2 came out. and then the Kingdom Hearts 1 prequel came out, and then another game that also takes place in between 1 and 2 came out, and then 2 more games that take place in between 2 and 3 came out, then the movie,
Oh,
then a fucking mobile game, and
no, no.
and the mobile game
Dude, why is the mobile game prequel? Like, what? I mean, canon. Why is that canon?
because it is canon, and fucking the mobile game is brought up in Kingdom Hearts 3, and it's just,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like, other than the first one that I played on my PlayStation, I got one on my 3DS. Remember the
And that was
3DS?
another difficult thing, because before this remastered thing came out on the Xbox and the PlayStation, there was no one console that had all the games. All of the main title ones, so Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 was only on PlayStation. Then a bunch of the prequels were only available on the 3DS. And then the movie at one point was only available online in Japanese. And then at the same time, the mobile game was only available online in Japanese. And then they eventually turned the mobile game to be able to be on smartphones and stuff like that. They translated it to English, and then for the remaster, they translated the movie to English, and then they turned
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
so like it was super difficult to follow the storyline until Square Enix like actually put it all in one package where you can play all the games on one console, because at one point like you'd have to own like 2 or 3 separate consoles and be fluent in Japanese to actually have the whole story.
Man, it must have been hard to be a Kingdom Hearts fan.
It was, which is why when I did play 3 with all of this knowledge, it was so rewarding, and I cried on 3 separate occasions playing Kingdom Hearts 3. It is so, oh my, like it's the best and the worst thing about Kingdom Hearts 3. It is only rewarding for Kingdom Hearts fans. Honest to God, like you need to be a Kingdom Hearts fan who has played through all of their shit to fully appreciate Kingdom Hearts 3. Otherwise, there are chunks, because Kingdom Hearts 3 is the 8th game to come out, and at some point or another throughout that game, it does make references to every single other Kingdom Hearts game. That was a tangent. I'm so sorry.
Dude, no, dude, go off, man. Like, that is so bizarre to me that Kingdom Hearts 3 is the 8th game in the series. Like, here's like I get doing prequels.
Yeah.
Like, I get doing prequels. Prequels are cool. I loved Monsters University. I get it. But like,
each game has.
can we please just try? Can we please try to just be like, this is Kingdom Hearts 1, this is Kingdom Hearts 2, this is the prequel. Okay, this is Kingdom Hearts 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like,
Yeah.
Can we do that just for like the fans' sake?
It's just because I think it's like they just have it down to like a formula. So essentially, there's the mobile game and a prequel that takes place before Kingdom Hearts 1. And then there's 2 games that take place at the same time but still before number 2. And then there's 2 games that take place at the same time but before number 3. And then there's 3.
Oh wow. Our lovely listeners, Kingdom Hearts, if you don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like I need to explain everything.
I've mentioned this game so many times on the podcast. I'm not.
Oh, okay. You got it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I
was going to go like, this game it has Disney characters in it, but it's really weird.
It's a beautiful marriage between Square Enix and Disney, because at the time they shared the building, and one of the animators for Square Enix bumped into one of the head people for Disney on an elevator, pitched him the idea just out of a joke, and then the guy was like, yeah, let's do it.
Dude, it's such a cool it's such a cool thing, because it's like, oh, we have this Final Fantasy-esque, like these Final Fantasy-esque characters and world.
Yeah.
But we also got Mickey Mouse running around.
Hold on.
Who's like the king of.
There's my train.
Ooh.
Sorry. Go on. Oh, but yeah, that's how Kingdom Hearts was fucking born. It's just Disney and Square Enix shared a building, and just one of the guys from Square Enix bumped into one of the head guys of Disney on the elevator, pitched him the idea, and he just went, "Yeah, that sounds cool. Let's do it." And
That's awesome.
it was, yeah, and that's how it happened. And
Speaking of the company Square Enix, the Avengers game.
I might sit out on that one for a little bit.
I what it they the marketing on that game was not good.
No, it looks like a
They did not.
It looks like a PS2 game with just PlayStation 4 graphics.
Now, see, I would have agreed with you on that when they were first showing it,
Yeah.
but they had this thing called the Avengers War Table come out like a couple days ago.
Okay.
Like I think this past month, like at the end of this past month, that showed like a lot of gameplay, and they basically it was kind of like them being like, "Hey, sorry we didn't give you any info, and we also showed you beta footage. Here's everything."
Okay, I'll have to take a look at that then.
So yeah, I'd say take a look at it because it actually like I was worried for the game too. I wanted it to be really good, but I was worried. And then I saw that and I was like, yeah, I'm pre-ordering now.
Okay, I see you. Oh, but you know
But
what?
then again, it's a game, so I mean, there's obviously always going to be people who are like, I don't like it.
Oh yeah. But you know what, Noah? That is our time.
That's all the time we have for today?
That's all the time we have for today.
Oh, well, gosh, okay.
Where can the people find you, man? If people want to hear more of you.
Well, well, if you want, you can find me on Instagram. My username is Noah Gibbs. That's just Noah and then Gibbs with a Z. You can find me there. I also do cartoon impressions, and I made an account for that. And
Oh,
if you
yes,
want
he
to see
does.
that, that's Gibney Graham. That's my last name, Gibney, Gibney Graham. And you can see I do lots of cartoon voices like Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse and all that kind of fun
Which
stuff.
we failed to bring up during this entire episode, unfortunately. But trust me, he's a talented guy.
It typically comes up in conversation. Um, well, maybe next time I'm on, I'll do some voices.
Yeah,
Maybe.
usually it comes up so organically. I don't get
Yeah, I just scream at somebody in a SpongeBob voice, and they're like, "What?"
it. All right. Well, thank you, Noah, for being on the show, and thank you everybody for listening. And
Thank you for having me.
until next time, bye bye.